Nicaragua is not your typical travel destination, unless you happen to be into covert military operations. But when you surf, the search for good empty waves often takes you to some pretty strange places. When they flew into Nicaragua last month, surfers Brock Little and Matt Archibald weren't sure what to expect. But the MCD team members were on a mission of goodwill, and the friendly locals welcomed them like visiting dignitaries. More importantly, they found great surf. I'm Mike Lambrisi, and this is Surfer Magazine.
Going into Nicaragua, nobody really knew what to expect. The place has been in civil war for the last decade. The landscape is harsh, and a lot of the people are barely surviving. We had no idea what kind of waves we were going to find. Morris Overseas Tours Worldwide Surfing Adventures invited the MCD crew, myself, Brock Little, and Matt Archibald to find out. As it turned out, we scored. We went off both in and out of the water. Stick around and see what we found. Juice is Loose presents a surf trip to Nicaragua. Tourists are a big deal in Nicaragua. Professional surfers are front page news. On the way to the hotel, I was amazed by the local transportation. While there were a few cars, most people were on carts and horses. Our crew included Archie, filmmaker Jeff New, and photographer Russell Hoover, who was shooting pictures for an article to appear in the November issue of Surfer Magazine. I had a special interest in Nicaragua. I'd been there a year before and had seen the surf potential. On a map, the coastline appears pretty much straight, with no variation. But in reality, the coast is broken up by headlands, submerged lava reefs, and sandy beaches. Thanks to the nearby Lake Nicaragua, the wind of the beach blows offshore all day, every day. Perfect for surf. We stayed at the Hotel Montelamar, a plush setup on the Central Pacific coast. The hotel had once been the home of Somoza, Nicaragua's deposed dictator. But now it was a world-class hotel with a casino, discos, HBO in the rooms, and horseback riding on the beach. The surf out front was weak but fun, and Archie, as usual, went off. There are no guides to surf in Nicaragua, but we'd heard rumors of some spots up north. The natives we asked seemed to think that would be a good place to start. Fortunately, a friend named Mauricio Targa set us up with a convoy of four-wheel drive Suzukis. Every day we set off on long off-road excursions in search of surf. The drives are long and tough, but somehow we managed to have fun. Our first find was a spot we called El Transito, a short, juicy right that was a little blown out but pretty fun. Matt was in the water before I even pulled my board off the car. pretty stoked to be able to drive on the beach, and we couldn't resist getting a little psycho with the Suzukis. The fun turned a little heavy though, when I accidentally rolled one of the cars. Take it from me, don't try this at home. Surfing is way more fun and a lot less dangerous. Don't go away, the surf only gets better. Luckily, the accident was minor, and I got stitched up by the hotel doctor, who'd had a lot of practice on bullet wounds. The car still ran, and Archie and I were still in one piece. But after a couple of days sitting around the hotel, watching the grass grow, and getting mowed down with machetes, we were ready for some good waves. The locals told us about a spot called Papuyo that sounded almost too good to be true. The directions sounded like a joke. Turn off the main highway at a food stall. Drive west to the big salt flat. Go past the greenhouse with the big cow. Over the wooden bridge. Past the guy on the ox cart. Left at the suckling pigs. And then ask directions from a little kid. And finally, the kid told us to turn right at the gate guarded by the bull. Papuyo was killer. Untouched beaches, warm clear water, and all kinds of breaks. We checked a few of them and settled on a nice little peak that broke close to shore. This is what we'd come for.
Well, I'm not the voice to lead a generation, to rally or protest or take my crusade across the nation. Now people are no longer dead like sycamore. They know now in this world they have got their own choice. They got to find an alternative. They got to find something better. New destination is on the rise. Oh yeah, yeah. We got to find alternatives. We got to find something better. New understanding will open eyes. The sound of change is music to my ear. Voice of the people, that's what I got here. Now the pattern emerging is coming quite clear. Some drastic steps must be taken. We need a new plan of action. We got to find an alternative. We got to find something better. New destination is on the rise. Oh yeah, yeah. We got to find
When you discover good surf, you're always faced with a dilemma. You want to share your find with others, but you don't want to ruin it by opening it up to the masses. Papuyo has astounding promise for anyone ambitious enough to make the trip. All we can hope is that anyone who comes after us respects the locals and leaves the place as they found it. We saved the best for last. Stay tuned. After our surf at Papuyo, we spent the night at Juan del Sur, a sleepy fishing port on the southwestern coast. Our friends turned us on to their most closely guarded secret spot. To get there, we had to cross swollen rivers and some brutal stretches of road. The wave turned out to be a fast Section E left that swept around the point like the second hand on a clock. We called it Puntarelo. The place was only head high but fun. Imagine what this place would have looked like on a raging south swell. We really didn't want to leave Puntarelo, and no one was looking forward to the long drive back to Montelimar, but we were happy to get back to the choice accommodations. Matt and I decided to take one last ride on the beach. I received a fond farewell from some of the locals. Everyone we met had been so cool to us that it was hard to believe that this beautiful country had been plagued by so much strife. That night, they threw a serious party in our honor, Nicaraguan style. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks for joining us on our trip to Central America. I hope you enjoyed the ride. For Surfer Magazine, this is Brock Little, signing off from Nicaragua. See ya.
Team Gotcha surfers Brock Little and Matt Archibald discovered good waves and good times in Nicaragua. With thousands and thousands of miles of bi-coastal beaches and points, Central America will be a major surf destination for years to come. Fortunate to live in such a beautiful environment. But every day the skies become a little less blue, the ocean's a little less pure, and the rainforests grow a little smaller. Get informed. Take a stand to help preserve our Mother Earth, to keep her clean and clear. Brock and Matt have paved the way for adventurous surfers to explore Nicaragua's numerous unnamed point breaks and beaches. Just remember, we are all ambassadors when we go abroad with the responsibility to respect the people and places we encounter. For Surfer Magazine, I'm Mike Lambrisi, and I'll see you in the water.